Hello, viewers. I'm SB, and welcome back to a very normal and enjoyable experience here in Stasis Bone Totem. I have to admit, I'm feeling a little bit of embarrassment about the end of the last episode because I was so panicked during that last puzzle. It's a little, I'm a little ashamed to have shown that in front of everyone. The idea of drowning in a space like this, deep underwater, this is like, this game is digging into my very specific fears in a way that I don't know, like looking at the stuff on the store page, I don't know why I didn't realize that that's exactly what was going to be happening here, but I had to admit I was a little unprepared. But I know where we're at now, and so let's continue, shall we? Several service pipes ring this chamber's perimeter, depositing air and fuel into escape capsules before plunging into the facility. So there are escape capsules that theoretically, go back up. I don't know where else you would escape to. The perforated grating has drained seawater that's pooled from the vacant tubes. The glow of fluorescent lights reveals that the lower room has a function beyond a simple flood chamber. Does it now? We can't quite see down there. A secure locking iris leads to the water overflow chamber below. Access appears to be controlled elsewhere. Seems like the way things are on this station. Some storage racking over here has been left bare, either unused or ransacked. And again, like a great example of showing us just enough for that combined with the image we build ourselves from the text to give it like a flavor that the developer still has control over, but where you're still filling in the edges. This squat domed room offers a dry reprieve, though presents little in the way of warmth or any clear path onward. Instead, the structure subtly shifts to and fro as it jostles with ocean current, accompanied by whispers of metallic murmuring. I would never stop being horrified by that. I know that that's just like, the rules of physics are such. There's a lot of physics in the ocean. You're not going to build a thing that's able to just be like, rigid, and also probably you wouldn't want to, because rigid and brittle are two sides of the same coin to a certain extent. But oh my god, what a fucking nightmare. The portal rims are draped with protective sheeting, shielding against damage and inconvenience caused by intruding ocean water brought forth by capsule launches. Okay, so this is where the escape pods launch from.
It's the escape pods. And big shock, they're all gone.
At least someone got out of here alive.
The tube lies vacant, the capsule having already ejected. This facility was not simply abandoned, but evacuated in anxious haste. Well, I am pretty bummed out about the vacancy of these tubes, because we really have no way back out of here. The absence of functioning escape capsules paints a grim landscape for those who now find themselves stuck within the metallic ocean floor maze. Lost and clamoring through an abandoned and flooding facility, escape facilities, expended or defective, you've leaped into the catastrophe long after others clamored to escape it. Yeah, we should not have gone down in the diving bell. We should have just been like, whatever's on the surface is salvage enough, and we'll just lie or invent paperwork where necessary. The portal rims are draped with protective sheeting. Oh, we saw this text already. Oh, this capsule didn't actually leave. Okay, so maybe there is a way out. Obviously, this one has problems, but we can probably fix them. We seem scrappy. A single remaining escape capsule has jammed itself shortly after a launch. The interior bulges with strange growths and dusty powders gradually tumble out from the opening, carrying a fetor of honey and spoiled meat. Why would that be what the smell is?
Wait. Pods aren't all gone. And not everyone escaped.
What do you mean? Someone's alive?
In one of the pods. They're not moving, but I can hear them inside. Hello? Can you hear me? Are you hurt?
Oh, that's very unsettling. It's very unsettling. It makes some sense of the spoiled meat smell, I suppose. Well, we can just twist these off.
Not gonna be easy. Lock will be pressurized. If you can hear me, I'm gonna try and get you out of there. Just stay calm.
They've done a really good job with the person's muffled voice of making it just beyond being made out. That's very upsetting. They have some kind of instrument. What am I looking at here? I mean, nobody else has any objects, and I don't think this igniter is what I'm looking for. Just pair this with a thruster, and Bob's your uncle. Yeah. Well, we'll have to find something, but let me look around with everybody else. Now that we're no longer in like desperate peril. Are things any different for you? Probably not, right? Dog is still doing as the dog does. We can't get back out the way we came in anymore, I'm sure. The other side of this vent is still... Yeah, interesting. Alright, what about Charlie? Oh, come on. Alright, hold on. Let's back up. Let's take a second here. I didn't look around this room very carefully because, you know, the peril. While the egress now stands firmly shut, the torrent of water that pooled through during the portal's prior mania drenched the floors. Worryingly, the slightest hint of ripples by the door suggests that the airlock seal may not be as secure as one might hope. Though seawater has recently washed over the floors, slight discoloration reveals that the tiling is no stranger to seawater. Let's run back over here. I want to shine my light on some of this stuff before I check out these bodies in any detail. A workshop station storing and charging handheld meters. Storing and charging handheld, various kinds of metering hardware, I guess. Stands before collecting, monitoring, and tracking equipment. None of it seems useful to us. Okay, so we took a picture of these maps, right? I'm just refreshing myself real quick. Yeah, I don't know what to make of these at all. The wretched remains of a diving suit and its occupant, vital fluids having long since bled out from the rendered torso. The trail of gristle and dried blood suggests that he had climbed through the portal as it had closed.
Charlie, what the hell?
It's, a dive suit. Looks like. Cut in half.
Yeah, so is the person inside it. Where the hell are you?
Looks like a dive suit bay. Oh god, there's another body here. Gonna keep looking. Maybe there's a way out, or a way to help you.
Be careful.
Thanks, Mac. I can't even tell what this interaction point is. Also, what happened to his helmet? This disused assembly arm stands dejected to the side, forlornly awaiting a project requiring its additional aid, or for its twin to malfunction and need replacing. I don't necessarily buy that the robot arm is sad. I think there's a level of projection that is like, you know, humanizing, anthropomorphizing, and there's a level where you're entering into fantasy. The robotic arm specializes in precision maintenance and assembly, following pre-encoded procedures and instructions. This one is not sad. A self-propelled diving suit, hybrid of a spacesuit and a submarine, that allows for safe exploration of the ocean depths while maintaining exceptional flexibility, agility, and movement.
Found a suit. Rear thruster looks damaged.
Well, I mean, we have half of a functional thruster.
Change systems. Biotechnological deep atmosphere environment suit. Systems check. Warning. Suit maintenance required before operation. Warning.
Okay, these buttons allow me to fiddle with the suit pressure. heating system, the thrusters, and the lungs are all fucked.
Uses bio lungs.
Yeah, looks like Biofix Mark 3 or 4. They're damaged though. And I think my only way out of here is fixing this thing.
You want to take a biodeus out onto the seafloor?
How hard could it be?
This woman.
This seems like a deeply irresponsible idea. Okay, so yeah, we have all kinds of fucked up systems.
Synth thrust is removed. Synth thrust maintenance should only be performed by trained certified technicians.
According to who?
I'm about the closest thing you're ever likely to see, so... Let's just plug this healthy igniter into the thing, and... No? Maybe I need to figure out a way of getting it off of there first? Hey, Mac, you want to just, like, fucking wrench this thing off of here for me? Is that a thing you can handle?
Rust got
Is
into this
indeed.
igniter. Twisting it just right got the thruster working.
Alright, so let's pass this back to her. And I can hear a rattling noise inside when I shake it. This is beyond repairable. But maybe I can get whatever's rattling in there out? No. Okay. That's fine. We got the pieces we need to make the thing that we need.
Good thing these thrusters are modular. Just put in a new igniter and there we are.
That arm is making me real nervous. Alright, well, we should be able to slap that back on there.
Synth thrust is replaced. Synth thrust is operating within established parameters. Fire lungs removed. Fire lung maintenance should only be performed by trained certified technicians.
Careful with those. Carry disease just like any other organ.
I know how biotech works, Mac.
No, I was talking to the player. They're probably a little bit lost at this point. The material seems made from a stretchable plastic hoisted onto a plasteel rib mount. We need some sophisticated medical equipment to repair this, or maybe we could just steal somebody else's lungs. Hey, what do you think of these? If I blow into the holes, the bags go big. I just, I had to find out. And then this is going to just require, it looks like the whole part is missing here, maybe? Alright, well, we'll figure it out. Okay, those all seem functional. Yeah, we just gotta find some other stuff. Let's have a look at this terminal. Matt Barton's terminal, or at least Matt Barton's logged in. Happy birthday to me. I'm 90 years old and I don't look a day over 45. It's one of the perks of a pampered life as an organ insurance product. Lifeblood Corp at your service. To celebrate, I ordered a Casu Marzu and washed it down with a Canonau de Sardinia, live maggots and all. I've always been a loner with a penchant for the good life, even during my time at La Vita Paradise, which only cost me a kidney. And now my family debt has finally been paid off, and the best is yet to come. Poor guy. Message to Christian C. Battagelo. I don't think we know this person yet. Have you had any more run-ins with scrubbers? When I'd go out for pressure tests a few months back, I'd see a swarm or two. I'd see a swarm every 2 or 3 outings. Now I see one every time I leave the mule. And I know they're supposed to be harmless, but I get the impression they're not working correctly. The dive suits I'm servicing show up with electrical burns, and they're deep sea rated and metallic glass reinforced. So whatever was going on down here was definitely causing electrical disturbances at the very least, but I wonder if it's actually much worse than that. And I've almost overhauled this Max Ocean M4 diving suit, but several parts still need to be replaced and repaired. Unfortunately, the old components are unsalvageable because they were melted by scrubbers. I wish we had one of those fancy matter replicators Battagelo's always talking about, not just these duplicator trash buckets. I heard the Temple Jockey's got one. What a waste. Oh, I'd print a Yubari melon with sliced fugu and sashimi for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. That's the part that seems like maybe a little bit of a waste. I've been combing through the old maintenance logs and found a restricted entry referencing Alpha, the first forward operating base. It was decommissioned about a decade ago, well before my time. And apparently, it's not just some weird artifacts on the ocean bed. There's a Newman down there, number 3. Kane decided to leave it trapped at the bottom of the ocean. I find it hard to believe they would abandon a Newman, but here it is in green pixels. God, imagine the value of a Newman, dead or alive. Consider my 90-year-old youthful interest piqued. If I can navigate a sample collector over the plateau, maybe we can explore the old base. I'll have to rope in Follis to get this sneak and peek. He has access to off-the-books equipment that won't get me shot or quartered, or both. What is a Newman? To Mr. Robert Follis. Hey, congratulations on your winning streak last night. I heard you cleaned Matthews out. Buzzed your sample collector like a hornet with roid rage. Listen up, Salt Dog. I need to borrow one of your UAVs for a couple of hours. It's the least you can do after forgetting my birthday. You know, sometimes I think about the rich prick who got my left kidney. Of all my organs, it was my favorite. I've always found it funny that some wealthy people want real organs when we can grow or even print perfectly good replicas. They call themselves 100% human. What a bunch of yellow leaf fantasists. But who am I then? I mean, I've felt like a cow or a broodmare at times, but the pay's too good. Besides, after being genetically paired with a policyholder, you have to emulate their lifestyle to minimize the chances of rejection. Tonight I drown my sorrows in manuka honey drizzled on garlicky Alba white truffles. Well, at least I still have my heart. Heart replicas just aren't the same. They keep ticking even when you're a corpse. Yes, we've seen that. This is really interesting. So if you're a person who is basically like he says, a broodmare for replacement organs, you live a shadow of a rich person's life, which, you know, like in terms of luxury is definitely a step up from the way the people around you are living. But it's a gilded cage, right? This is really interesting. The rover excursion to Alpha Base was a bust. A cave-in prevented traditional access, so I squeezed through a fissure, passing some old equipment. And once I was out of the cave and heading for the base entrance, what could only be described as a bloated sea slug with teeth tore the drone to pieces like a hungry man would a sous vide butter-poached lobster. And I ran this operation in the black. Follis is going to go ballistic on my ass. To mule maintenance. Hey, the scrubbers that maintain the graphene hull of domes A through E seem to be multiplying. I know they're bioengineered not to breed, but I am certain there are more of them every day. Scrubber orgy would be a thing to behold. Now, I know some crew are fond of the blue electric light show they put on, but I suspect these critters are dangerous. I request an immediate catch and catalog of the swarm. Kane's sake, the mule's in chaos. Yvette was hit by a stray bullet, which completely tore off part of her head, and Bernie's ribs were knocked in. This is very light on details here. This seems significant. I saw a rover at the bulwark during my sneak and peek. It may come in handy. I wish there were timestamps on these, so we would know how far apart these logs are. We stopped the base kill order. Follis simulated the VAT, then killed the hardline between the mule and DS-15. I cut the data tether to deep sea simultaneously, and he nuked the uplink. I don't know how long the ruse will last. Hopefully long enough for us to get topside. Okay, so communication between the mule and the base wasn't cut to hide things. It was cut because there was some kind of destruct sequence order. Alright, we're heading back to the mule now. I would die for a dollop of Almas caviar on a saltine cracker. Ooh. Voice transcoded. The bell returned as scheduled, but headed oceanside after only 10 minutes. I hope some of the crew escaped. The bell requires at least one occupant to ascend, and it sure as shit wasn't us in there. I mostly made it back. Robert, The scrubbers melted his suit al dente. I almost narked on dive re-entry trying to get away from them, but those electro squibs caused a power surge on the moonpool's iris door. I almost narked? This is a use of narc as a verb that I'm maybe not familiar with because this sentence doesn't make any sense to me. Alas, there has been no rescue. I smell the ghastly aromatic stench of rotting onions, like a putrid lobster bisque. Huh. Well, that's disconcerting. All of this is disconcerting. Bright lights have been left running to aid in maintenance work, long since left abandoned. And there's not really anything else for me to interact with down here. Yeah. So this is still unclear to me. Whatever it is we're seeing here, I mean, it looks like it's coolant related for sure.
I need coolant. Maybe I could find some somewhere else.
Okay. I'm assuming that's like the hint system. If you look at a thing more than a couple of times, it pops up hints for you. I like the gentility of these hints. So I feel like we've been pretty thorough where the bear is. Let me make sure I'm not missing anything else over here. I mean, there's really not anything else to interact with. We'll hold off on the hint for the moment. So all we have is a damaged igniter and some damaged biolungs. The hell am I going to make out of these? I don't know what we would do with this. It's broken and there's something rattling around inside of it. Probably just a loose piece, but who knows? Maybe it'll turn out to be something that's like narratively significant. I guess I should check and make sure that, well, hold on. There was that, the extension off the north part of the fungus guy's room. What was the deal with the door up here? Okay, yeah, we can now go through this. So no, we have not been thorough in the Moses area. Because now that the air pressure is fine. One of a few stasis pods within the room, though this one lies empty, its previous occupant already having been disgorged and placed onto the surgery table.
This is not a good place to play. It smells wrong. Like dead things.
Ever wonder what the point was of putting olfactory sensors on a toy?
Maybe because it makes him more real.
You are either real or you're not.
You're right, Mose. I'm sorry.
There are a lot of, it makes sense as a safety measure too. There are a lot of dangerous situations a kid can get into that you could smell the danger and potentially like help them get out of. The stasis capsule is controlled and regulated by this console. I don't know that I want to mess with that. Do we want to let this body out? The occupant has grown bloated, the face a crumpled expression of a newborn tasting sourness. The frumpled pale body appears weathered and torn, like overly worked wet clay, and clouds of dark fluid hang suspended in the stasis fluid. Great. There's another one over here. This doesn't look like it's an entire body. The mottled skin has the complexion of spoiled milk and has begun to loosen itself from its carcass. Drifting sheets of dermal matter expose foamy, pallid flesh as internals begin to soften, approaching the consistency and coloring of apricot jam. Okay, so there's just a lot of them laying around here. This body floats in stasis containment, contorted, but cradled by half a dozen umbilical cables, and haloed by interior lights. Deaf and blind to the horror in which it now incubates, the form invokes some degree of envy for the peace in which it slumbers. You know, I'm not really feeling a lot of envy, personally. A blue medical tarp has been stretched around the module's walls and underneath its flooring. And here we have that surgery table. I wonder how long those machines have been just going. The surgery procedures are supplied by a steady supply of stasis-stored human stock. While several have perished within their sepulcher, it seems a far preferable demise than the horror on the table. Yeah. The dockmate surgery apparatus continues to perform a set task, undeterred by the chaos around it. The hewn subject has been carved out repeatedly, its spinal column ground to paste, funneling blood and depositing meaty scraps onto absent receptors. Cool, good, gross. Let's maybe see if we can turn this thing off. Okay, once again, that gives us a good 4,239 hours. That gives us a good sense of exactly how long stuff has been fucked here. Select manufacturer preset. I mean, the lungs were biofix, right? What do you call removing someone's lungs? Hemorrhoidectomy is definitely not it. Radical mastectomy? Colectomy? Parentheses, lung. Thank you. I really appreciate that. Okay, so these things seem useful. Yeah, I would love it if you would just take out a lung there. Can we get close enough to this thing to mess with it without getting surgeried? Jesus. Huh. 7154. Hey, somebody pass me some lungs. I do not like the way the head keeps moving.
I do not like this, Charlie Mac. Everything is slimy. This is a dangerous place.
I know, sweetheart. But I need those lungs. If you can repair them. Can you try?
I am brave and strong.
What a fucking situation. Insufficient processing power in medical suite due to a non-responsive VAT? Okay. This is definitely the thing that the body in Mac's escape pod is holding. 100% for sure. I thought it was a hypo. Alright. Let's go fiddle with the VATs.
Hello, I am Moses.
Volunteer pods. What were they doing here?
You know the answer to that. If they were here by their own accord, they were paying off debts to Kane. If.
Yeah, I wonder what the percentage is. Subject to Freitas M. Age intubation 8. Days in stasis 833. What is supposed to be on this panel? This seems bad. I mean, we could shut it down. Hold on. I want to look around a little bit more before I start turning off people's stasis pods. Age of intubation 42. Days in stasis 1301. So it's just a cooling thing, I guess. If we were to turn off all the pods, I suppose we could probably... Gosh. We could certainly fiddle with the power, right? This one doesn't have controls that we can interact with. Alright, before I do anything else on reversible, let me look through here. What's in this room?
Charlie, Hope's favourite.
Favorite what?
A shark. Hope's favorite animal.
It is lovely.
Oh,
You are in Aquarium H1.
thanks. Well, this is grim. This lovely decaying shark. The decaying corpse of a shark, its leaking effluents polluting the tank liquid with thick clumps of cloudy bile. Ugh. The various leaks and drips coalesce and drain through the grating. Hair, chemicals, and other organic matter cling to the flooring, forming thin films webbing over the perforations. An out-of-place row of security monitors keeps an eye on several critical areas of the mule. Strangely, a deep-sea rover schematic is boldly displayed and hastily tacked on. Why would that be the case? Okay, well, we know an employee ID code, at least in theory we do. My memory is such that I cannot remember. Was it 7412? Let's just have a quick look. 7154. Not even close. A 5 and a 2 are similar. Hold on. Hold on. You know what I should do? I should take a screenshot. The reason I take so many damn screenshots is because I know what my brain is like. Okay, 7154. I imagine Moses is essentially seeing via camera, right? So we should, in theory, diegetically be able to take a picture of the QR code and then present it to this thing should it need further identification.
Security system access granted.
Charlie Mac.
Mac, look at this.
Looks like a rover. Big one.
That could be our way out of here. Where is this, Moses?
I can show you.
Transmitting target coordinates.
Okay. Yeah, so that's not far on the seabed. I can make it there.
Seems like a big risk.
Well, that's our reality right now.
Yeah, I don't know that we have a better move. So we do have here critical information about the pressure levels and stuff. Okay. And it's cold out there. And also everything else that's wrong with this idea. A steady flow of sullied water leaks from the tanks, staining the grating with moldy grit and giving rise to a wafting stench of rotting eggs and chemical cleaner. Wow, what is that? Look at that. A gargantuan eel-like monstrosity lies suspended in water, its clouded eyes and statuesque stillness evidence of death long since welcomed. A thick throng of cabling vomits out from the slack maw before snaking towards a port on the far wall, while a dozen wires run the length of its form and puncture into its cranium. What were they doing down here? This module is a chamber of aquatic defilement, where numerous fish have been subjected to torturous and invasive procedures. Sickly light emanates out from the sordid containment tanks, while the odor of damp and dead fish radiates from the floor. That is a big jellyfish. A fleshy jellyfish oscillates to unseen currents. Slender spidery limbs twirl and gently dance in time to the creature's warbling core. And over here, we just got a great big empty tank. Oh, what is going on here? Oh, hey, we know this guy. At least we've heard of him before. I didn't finish looking at that other terminal either. I got distracted by the private PDA entries. All right, so we got some images. Cool. Yeah. So, were they trying to Were they trying to hybridize humans with the creatures, or were they finding things down here that were already remarkably human, or... Okay, well that's just your normal everyday shark face. Right? Probably, right? Yeah, I don't have enough information here to really know what I'm looking at. No messages. What did you trash but fail to delete? Pictures of the subjects in the tanks, I guess? Or at least one of them. Huh. Alright, a lot of numbers on these, but I don't know what to make of them yet, so they're not terribly useful. We can change the wallpaper. That's fun. Alright, I guess we'll come back to this later. We'll probably need some of that information at some point. Glimpses of cabling suggest that the lurid blue padding protects fragile electronics and equipment against the damp and water damage. Alright, this might be that guy's PDA. I have no idea how to pronounce his first or last name. I am guessing as best I can. Okay, so those are pictures of him. A message to him. Mr. Basigand, on behalf of the Choco Board, I congratulate you on the on your speedy recovery and brand new lungs, liver, upper intestine, lower intestine, stomach, and kidneys. You made a fantastic choice going with our premium Biofix range. Did you know that Biofix has been rated #1 in Japan for 6 years running? We're even using them in the oxygen system in the mule dive suits. Due to the cost of these items, you have been upgraded to Debt Band 1. You'll be pleased to know that we could take your family's gross income as collateral. They have been transferred to Titan and given positions as hard labor specialists. Once your debt has been paid, they will be free to hand in their notice, should they wish. I was raised at a salmon hatchery on Luna. According to my mother, I've wanted to be a marine biologist since I was 5. I'm not the best swimmer, but I've gotten to know marine life intimately through books and laboratory research. My obsession with bloodthirsty man-eaters spurred me to seek a post at this facility. Working with great minds like Dr. Kubilius is an added perk. That's another new name, right? Or was that the name of the woman back on the surface? I don't think so. From Lilila Van Wyck. Tice, do you realize you lost 70% of your blood in the attack? Count your blessings, dude. I hope you take this as a sign to stop your crazy solo outings. What if you get hurt again? What if security finds out? I dragged your ass back to the mule this time, but I can't always be there for you. I know you're worried about your family, dude, but there are other ways to help them. Talk to me. We'll figure it out together. Okay, so man was going out on his own into the undersea. I can't imagine doing a thing like that. It's easy for her to tell me to stop. Her dad is rich. Meanwhile, my family is chipping away at rocks. From the Mule Supervisory Board. Mr. Basigand, the board has seen fit to approve your request for the specimen to be placed in your care, in light of your unique connection with the creature. However, we are aware of the unexploded spear gun shaft and request that you proceed with extreme caution. Management wants to know how this species survives at such depths. You are to report your findings directly to Dr. Atlas Moon. Ooh, that's a very dramatic name, isn't it? Alright, to Dr. Lake Kubilius. Dr. Kubilius, I apologize if I interrupted you during a sensitive moment yesterday. I just wanted to tell you that I'm a huge fan of your work. Your thesis on memory-coded RNA was an inspiration to me. Could you spare me a few moments of your time when you're feeling better? I'd love to show you the research I'm working on. Of course, it's nothing as revolutionary as yours. Still, there is something strange about the fauna down here. Something more than can be accounted for by the extreme conditions. Do you ever wonder what the Omega Boys are doing? Well, it's bio-warfare, or something like it. I retrieved a sample from the corpse of one of the Omega Lab products before it was cremated. Do you know about the microbe's behavior toward genetic structure? I'm forwarding a copy of my report and the partial genome. With the deepest admiration, Ties. I'm saying Ties. This seems like a tremendously dangerous message to send over company equipment. From Lalila. Ties, I heard you're back at the aquarium. We should talk. I've kept Jaws on ice, but it's still alive, and I will keep it that way until I have extracted every ounce of sweet revenge. Okay, so it wasn't really about study. That makes sense. To Kubilius. Kubilius, come on. I know you read these messages. I know you at least see them. Well, I found it. The microbe is in the shark, pulling apart its genetic structure and molding it back together like putty, just like it did with those Omega corpses. This species shouldn't even exist, but she is neither dead nor alive here. The microbe must be endemic to this region. It appears to form a symbiotic relationship with other organisms in the ecosystem, so everything is a little infected. And there's something else, too. Additional genomic information the PS-139 brings with it. I can't quite understand it yet, but I'm getting close. Yeah, again, really doesn't feel like you should be sending these messages on company equipment. I've been testing my PS-139 extract on the deep sleepers in the adjacent lab. Cut the microbe with holy dust and a little MDMA. How are you even getting that shit down here? I even pulled them out of stasis for a few minutes to get as much info as possible. Moon's pet, product 6455A3, was particularly violent, so I gave her a little extra juice and a surprise critter cocktail. Yeah, I'm breaking the law, but I'm all in now. Again, company equipment. I've ordered 6 more. Hopefully I'll get some adult products this time. Alright, from now on I'm using holy dust only. No MDMA. It provides the perfect neural delivery agent. From the Mule Supervisory Board. Mr. Besegund, I am writing to you on behalf of the board to hereby order a halt to any further excursions using Kane Corporation equipment or time. While the board appreciates your enthusiasm, it sees little value in your current research. Therefore, it does not deem the risk to Kane property justified. I would also remind you that your family is several months behind on debt repayment. Speaking personally, I am shocked at your recklessness. Kane has graciously made you a better man, and this smacks of ingratitude. In parting, I offer some advice. Next time you have a great idea, disregard it, look at your duty list, and go back to work. Not shared hallucinations. Memories. Memories from the previous PS-139 hosts, all of them connected through a neural mycelium network. Imagine the entertainment value of this shit. Test subjects. I need more test subjects. Lester, you old salt dog, come join me for a little holy dust tonight after your shift ends. Keep it on the down low. I'm keeping up appearances, letting them think I'm crazy. In an insane world, a sane man must appear totally bonkers. Oh yeah, that's definitely what's happening here. I slipped a bit of my magic dust to Korea while he was recovering in the medbay. He'll be my control subject. Okay, that explains some things. After Lester survived my experiment, I decided to try the distilled PS-139 RNA extract on myself. My personal microdosing is proving fruitful. The process induces a waking dream that can only be described as a shared neural network of images, sounds, and emotions. I've managed to limit the duration of the experience to a few seconds, and damn, it was a ride. I swear I touched God. The world melted into a Van Gogh painting, and I joined a metamorphosed reality of a million minds screaming together. Milford lasted an hour. He is not doing well. Okay, so this tells us some things about what happened to Korea, right? The vivid quote unquote dreams he was having and everything. All right. Regarding request for financial compensation for private research. A copy of my results is enclosed as proof of concept. These findings are going to revolutionize the entertainment industry. Wow. It is so weird to me that he thinks that is the application of this thing he's discovered. I know that your hands are firmly up the ass of every drug dealer from Cape to Cairo, and it would be grand if we could all benefit. To Kubilius. Do you think I'm a fool? I know about the tumor, Kubilius. I got it out of Milford. The coward told me you're the reason it hasn't been removed. Now why would that be? I looked up to you. Maybe I'm a fool, but only for that. From corporate. High priority message. Dr. Besegund, congratulations. Due to the sensitive and unconventional nature of the research and your blatant disregard for procedure, it has been decided that a more experienced project lead is needed to oversee the next phase of trials. We do not recognize private research. You will turn over all relevant data to Dr. Yamada's team upon their arrival. Oh, okay. The very dry congratulations at the top is remarkably harsh for this corporate tone. Hand over my research. I've paid their price in my flesh and blood. Now they need to reciprocate. Starting with you, Gallagher. I'm releasing holy dust and aerosolized PS-139 into the vents so that everyone can see God. I've called up an old contact topside. They're sending a courier in a week. Looking forward to sitting on a sunny beach, collecting my 20%. Message to Mule Staff. You are all scientists. You must understand that suffering is essential to progress. I only recently grasped this, but now I am free. Okay, so that actually tells us a lot about what happened down here. We're getting our details filled in really quickly, it feels like. I guess let's have a look at the shark. Gosh, it does not look... I guess I can see the... Yeah, this is the nose. The jaws must be down here. And its whole side is just...
Cold. It no longer breathes.
That harpoon. Be careful, Bear. It's explosive tipped.
My Mac.
Okay, let's just be real fucking cautious here. What does this do? That pops open a thing? Okay, well. A frozen coil. If you put this in snow, would it make ice cream? I don't... It's probably not. Probably not there, buddy. Wow, this is... This is something. Alright, so... Is this a doorway? This is a doorway. Yeah, this area Moses loose in is remarkably
You are
large.
in product storage, a restricted area.
The room's atmosphere is still and frigid. The equipment management terminals are smeared with a dark, sticky, congealed substance. Inside the stasis pods, a row of corpses hangs like grotesque puppets, tangled in the pipes and wires that had once provided life, now no more than a lifeless troop of dry husks. The word eggs being used here is strange, given that description. This door is terminally sealed, the glaring ruby symbol indicating either a lockdown or a malfunction. The only sound in this room is the hiss of static from the monitors. Their flickering light illuminates the leather chair, the cracks in its surface evident even beneath the shroud of dust that covers it. The chair's oddly familiar, weather-worn leather surface is cracked, showing its age. Oddly familiar. The grated panels would allow for fluids to drain as new bodies are hauled from the pods, likely drenched in stasis fluid, sloughing off like mucus. Instead, an acidic odor of a chemical adhesive clings to the grating. Huh. That's curious. there's nothing in here for us to do for the moment. It's just spooky. It's just a spooky area. Well, this is the product number that was in the logs, right? All right. Sorry about this.
These are in pain.
I mean, things are not going to get any better for them if we find a way to wake them up, right? And who knows what kind of state they're in, and...
Oh, this is awful.
May their minds find the nexus.
The pods are saying processing power reallocated to the dockmate.
These suffer. It is painful.
All right, let's see if we can figure out how to repair the lungs now. This operation requires CSF spinal fluid. Huh. Okay. Well, that is a problem that we are gonna have to get some help with. The icy surface is strong enough for the cold to burrow into my hands as I hold it. We must roast this like a marshmallow to get it back to temperature. Wait, what did Mac's observation of it say? I just saw it briefly and I was like already clicking away. A chunky ring of sturdy metal could crack a few heads, but Charlie would be furious about the misapplication of industrial equipment. So, I mean, we can absolutely toast it like a marshmallow. That's not a problem. I'm gonna take this hypo from the bear. That feels like... I was wondering if we could get some spinal fluid from the guy, but maybe we have to remove this stuff first. Well, I have an idea how we might heat it up. Brute force endothermic reaction. Likely broke over a dozen health and safety regulations, but one can't argue with the effect. So, what am I doing with this now? The heating system is damaged or missing. And presumably that's this interaction point. Yeah, we definitely still don't have lungs to put in here. It is not clear to me what the interaction would be with this, so I absolutely am just like jamming all of our objects against it. What am I going to do with this heated up coil? Like, what is the value of this?
Well, when in doubt, go for the old standby. Blow stuff up. Small explosive charge would open this lock easy.
Oh, we used the heated coil to melt the shark enough to get the... Because I knew we were going to have to get the shark, the harpoon eventually. The fact that it was explosive had been mentioned twice. And that's just too, like... The utility of that is too obvious for it not to have come into play. But yeah, that's what we gotta do here. Okay, plug it back in here. Oh.
Hope's favorite is alive?
Good God.
Hope's favorite is alive.
Mouse, get away from that.
Well, I need to just borrow this for a second there, friend. Oh, I am sorry. Can I turn it back off? No, we just have to leave this thing. Okay. All right. I would love to go fishing with some of these bad boys. He really does not like sea wildlife. I guess I understand. Looks designed to detonate whatever it impales. And I mean, we need an explosive charge. Can I not just, like, huck this at the thing?
Spear tip meets explosive harpoon. And we've got something for cutting and blowing stuff up. Two of my favorite pastimes.
Alright. A dangerous surprise in a conveniently small package. Finally, something I feel a bit more at home with. Combine this with an ignition source and it's party time. I see. So we can make ourselves a little bomb.
Old thruster was useless on the dive suit, but works just fine as an explosive timer.
Waste not, want not, Charlie.
Alright, well... This seems like a profoundly dangerous thing to do in our current setting, but...
Guys, heads up. I'm about to blow this lock.
Loud noises.
Oh, yeah. Ah! What the hell was that?
I didn't see. What happened?
It's like some kind of giant fucking insect.
Language, Mac.
It blew out of the escape pod. Ran right by me.
Would you prefer it stuck around?
I mean, it's definitely still in here. There's nowhere for it to go. So yeah, kind of. Okay, this is Dr. Atlas Moon. Has it been 5 years already? I've been down here for so long I've forgotten how the sun feels on my skin. My ocular implants are malfunctioning again. I really must stop procrastinating and get them checked out. Corporate offered to do a complete ocular transplant, but I refused. Being blind from birth has its benefits. My visual memory isn't clouded by manipulation and interpretation. This is not a disability, but a blessing in the land of the deceived. Dr. Kubilius has further tuned my bionics to interface with the deep sleepers, so I can keep them under observation 24/7. An unseen bonus is that once I'm connected to their limbic system, I can access their emotions. I find catharsis in reliving their lives and seeing the world as they did when they walked free among the flock. Okay, that's a lot to process. I have loved before, many years ago. She always saw the best in me, my Diana. What a weird... This is the whole log entry, huh? Triggered by what, one wonders. I keep telling myself not to obsess over the products, but I just can't help it. I am particularly fond of the De Freitas family. Corporate acquired them 2 years ago, and they were shuffled around a lot before coming here. One moment on a trip to Mars, another shanghaied to the bottom of the ocean. My favorite is product 6455A3. She has magnificent emotions, so passionate and raw. Her dreams are fascinating. Appreciating her emotional range doesn't make me less culpable for her desecration, but it does make the work more enjoyable. Oh, well, as long as you're getting by. Attention, Choka aboard. I am pleased to report that the isolation in cell cultures using immunofluorescence-based analytical procedures and nucleic acid determination molecular approaches has proven successful in detecting and identifying a PS139 strain in the historical samples. It was mule poker last night, and I won big again. Perhaps they sense my loneliness. I really hope they're not letting me win. From Dr. Dryasmian Hairfest. Dr. Moon, my report is attached for your perusal. The stasis pods of the 3 products I requested for study have just arrived. I will begin my observations post-haste. I am racked with guilt. Who knows where these products were headed when they were procured? Now they linger here in eternal sleep, poked and prodded in the name of scientific progress and profit. Their autonomy was disregarded, their rights and their bodies were violated. The other employees in this lab are under the illusion these people volunteered. Their ignorance is appalling. Or they may know the truth and choose not to dwell on it. In the old days, we would have done the PS-139 research off-world, but since the resurrection of the Father, who can stop us? Who would dare to question the company, and by extension, the church? I overthink everything. Enough, Moon. Your guilt changes nothing. Okay, so confirmation of the thing that seemed pretty obvious. I knew she was special when I first connected with Product 6455A3's lucid dreams. I am going to name her Diana. That's a morbid thing to do. The deep sleepers are kept in stasis, so they remain fresh and compliant. We seldom wake them unless an experiment or treatment requires it. Products are never allowed to leave, but maybe, just maybe, I have enough clout with corporate to change this policy. I'm sure PS-139 is an ancient organism that remained dormant for a long time owing to the cold temperatures and water pressure. Now, in the warmth of the Mule Lab, we are resurrecting it. Hairfest and his team are proceeding with human testing after the Omega Base incident, even having observed PS-139's necrotic effects. The company sees dollar signs, while I see a dearth of humanity. But what can I do? I've made up my mind. Whatever response I get from Choka, I am setting these people free. Gosh, I am really curious what her plan was. Notice to Mule senior staff, need to know only. Report to your personal EV for immediate evacuation. Base lockdown in progress. Black Ops team en route. Quarantine has been unexpectedly painful, but it provides the perfect cover to set Diana free. My personal EV is primed and ready for us. We'll be out of here in 5 minutes. Then we can start our new life together. Oh, wow. Can you imagine the horror of being the person who was awakened for this? Oh, help. The EV jammed, and something is wrong with Diana. She has something growing inside of her. Oh, Kane. And that's what that thing was. Okay, that's grim news.
Kane's reign.
You said they were alive.
Well, I thought they were.
Did that thing burst out of her?
Or feeding on her. Or...
Someone there. Someone actually there.
Reusing all added to active channels.
They were using this body suit radio. That's what I heard.
Someone there? Or more dreams in the haze.
Who is this? Are you part of the research team? Are you Kane?
Black. Dark. Can't see. Can't move. Explosions.
Are you hurt? Are you okay?
The haze. The pain.
He's rambling. We should try and find him.
Find him? What for? You remember the guy upstairs? All these other bodies? Who says he isn't the one running around doing it?
And if he isn't, he could help us. Maybe he knows a way out of here.
Haze in the dark. I am here. And nowhere.
Yeah. I don't think he's gonna be much help.
I'm expecting that if we do find whoever that is, that's going to be a grim scene indeed. Okay, so it's not a hypo. It's an acetylene torch that is built to look very similar to the hypos. Even if we don't find any juice for this, it still makes for an excellent eye gouging device. Boy, he's really sort of got a one-track mind, huh? Doesn't seem like we can even really see in here past her, but I think that's the fungus stuff? I mean, it seems full of mass anyway. Well, that's grim. And now I'm in here with some kind of thing that probably feeds on humans. So fucking wonderful. How did this situation get worse? How did things get worse from how they ended yesterday? Anyway, that's going to be it for us for today. Thank you all so much for watching. When you come back next time, we will still be trapped at the bottom of the seafloor, but at least now we're trapped down here with a bunch of other living things. Hooray! And we'll see you then.